Welcome to Cam Look, your twice-weekly dose of the Cincinnati Art Museum. Every Tuesday and Thursday, a staff member or volunteer shares a work from the collection and poses questions for discussions. Check back at 10 a.m. for a new work and a new conversation. Hello, I'm Jenny Jefferies, and I'm a docent at the Cincinnati Art Museum. Today, I'm going to talk about this painting by Camille Pissarro, named Cabbage Patch Near the Village, from 1875. There are many ways to look at this painting. If we look at the story, it is a painting about the countryside with farmers in a field picking colorful cabbages, loading them into bags to carry on their backs. Pissarro fills the canvas with a diffuse, dappled light. Notice that there are no shadows. Compositionally, the painting is anchored by the central collection of light-colored, strongly geometric buildings in the midground. Using the rule of thirds, he uses strong horizontals to divide the painting into the colorful fields in front and the light sky in the back. And again using thirds, he inserts strong verticals, the trees. This all works together to create a balanced composition. He repeats his palettes of blues and greens throughout the painting. Stylistically, Pissarro painted this work with the light palette and quick brushwork of Impressionism. To our modern eyes, this painting is beautiful and worthy of a place on a museum wall. But what if I told you this painting was scandalous to the art world of its time? You might think, why? Well, here are what a few critics of the time said about his paintings. I've noticed that in Pissarro's paintings, the human figures quite precisely have the same import as the vegetables beside them. And Monsieur Pissarro's brush is like a spade painfully turning the earth. And he puts together all the colors of the rainbow. He is violent, hard, brutal. From an effect which might well have been acceptable, he makes something unbelievable. So why was this painting and others by the Impressionists so disliked at the time? Because they looked so different. Looking at the Pissarro side by side with the classic landscape by the great Claude Lorraine, you can see how different they would look to the eyes of someone in 1875. Each painting expresses reality differently. Lorraine's landscape has a visual reality with a three-dimensional depth that looks like you could walk into the picture. The people in the painting may be commoners, but they are shown with a staged perfection. Pissarro's reality is of the socio-political. We see hard-working people doing common labor. His painting was heavily criticized for showing vulgar people and vulgar cabbages. His trees look unfinished, and the feel of this painting is flattened, more two-dimensional, by not using the accepted technique of atmospheric perspective, where you see in the Lorraine how the horizon becomes lighter, fading into a distant mist. Our Pissarro painting was in the collection of the French painter Gustave Caillebotte, who at his death willed his entire collection to France. Our painting was one of many in his collection that was rejected by the French government because it was considered revolutionary in its subject matter and its flattened perspective. It eventually made its way to Cincinnati, and France's loss was fortunately our museum's gain.